Hello, everybody. My name's Jameson Young. I'm sitting here with Jameson
Hello.
Young. Today, we're going to be talking about Kevin Hart and the problems he got in with his homophobic slurs and how they got him kicked off as being the host of the Oscar.
And how you're a little bee if you apologize.
And according to Jameson, you're somehow less of a man if you don't apologize. But no, we'll just be talking about his problems. And Jameson, as always, he'll be chiming in, I guess.
Well, first of all, I want to put in a retract.
An apology?
No, not an apology, a retract. Jameson said that I think you're less of a man if you don't apologize. No, correction. I think you're less of a man if you do apologize. Then on to the actual story. I really don't see why they have to harp on these guys. I mean, this guy is a professional comedian. Of course, he's going to say outrageous stuff, and I don't really see what's
He didn't
the
say
big
this in
deal.
a comedy show, though.
Okay, well, let's assume both. As far as the serious part about it, I think the main line was something about not wanting a gay son. You know what? Newsflash. There's a lot of people who want a gay son. I know that sounds bad, but that's the truth. And for somebody to say what a vast majority of Americans believe, and then to get torn apart about it, I mean, like a great example is like Matt Damon. He said, what did he say? He said, like, there's a difference between grabbing an ass and child molestation, and because of that, this small social justice warrior crowd wanted to like kick him off all of his movies and stuff. Well, who doesn't believe that there's a difference between grabbing an ass and child molestation? I just think that there's this really small vocal minority that like aggressively like bullies everybody into shutting up and doing what they want.
So should people just be able to say whatever horrible stuff they want?
Yeah, I'm not saying that that it's all good, but first of all, as far as the jokes, a lot of it, if you read his actual tweets, you know it's jokes. And you can't sit there and say that they don't sometimes come back on these guys for skits, for comedy skits that they do. And like, I mean, to sit there, like these are performances. To sit there and say, oh, we need to go to Sylvester Stallone's house and arrest him on the Stolen Valor Act because he claimed to be a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. I mean, that's crazy.
He said this on Twitter.
I understand that he was doing it on Twitter and not like in a stage skit. I get it, but I just think that I think that something said 10 years ago, just let it go. I mean, that's me anyway.
So I just got a call from the Academy, and that call basically said, Kevin, apologize for your tweets of old, or we're going to have to move on and find another host. Talking about the tweets from 2009, 2010. I chose to pass. I passed on the apology. The reason why I passed is because I've addressed this several times. This is not the first time this has come up. I've addressed it. I've spoken on it. I've said where the rights and wrongs were. I've said who I am now versus who I was then. I've done it. We feed in the internet trolls and we reward them. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm going to be me. I'm going to stand my ground. Regardless, Academy, I'm thankful and appreciative of the opportunity. If it goes away, no harm, no foul.
See, if he would have just stuck to that, he would have looked like a badass. But instead, he had to backpedal eventually and apologize.
Well, I realize we're getting off subject here for a second, but you keep justifying bad behavior with, well, he's just a comedian. Well, where's the line for comedians? I mean, do comedians have a line in their performances?
Well, the line is funny or not funny.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the only line. Like a great example of this is Dave Chappelle. He's been on both sides of this line. Like years ago when he was starting out and he did that funny skit, the blind black white supremacist. If you ever seen it, it's funnier than crap. Well, I'll come back to that. Just recently, he did something about transvestites, and he took a lot of criticism. Well, it's not that it's not offensive to dress up in a Klan uniform and scream the F word and the N word. It's just that was funny. His stuff on the trans stuff, not saying I don't think he should have gotten criticized for it since it was a comedic skit, but that wasn't funny. So long story short, yeah, the line is funny or not funny. If you're funny, you can basically get away with murder. If your skit is not funny, you're going to get murdered, I guess.
Well, okay, I think there could probably be a little bit higher of a standard, more of a standard than just that. Okay, last but not least, do you think he should have apologized?
No, I don't think he should have apologized.
If he hurt people, though, would an apology help?
No, he didn't. He didn't hurt anybody. It was a tweet like 9-10 years ago, and it's not really about apologizing or making anybody's feelings better or whatever you want to call it.
What about it?
It's about mob rule. I mean, more or less, they just want to put power over some celebrity. And when Kevin Hart actually apologized, he more or less just kind of caved in to the mob rule pressure, like he said. But he should have just stuck to his guns.
So you don't like being nice to people?
Well, on top of not liking apologies, I don't like how some people have to give apologies and others don't. If you look at like Joy Reid from the Liberal News, her anti-gay tweets were just as bad as Kevin Hart's, but she never had to apologize. So, and she still has her job and all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't think it's really about making anybody's feelings better. I think it's just about giving into mob rule. And I think if you don't apologize, it makes you look better. I mean, look at like Trump. He never apologizes, doesn't hurt him nothing, and people like him for it.
Okay, well, I don't know if Donald Trump is a good example to use, but anyway,
Okay.
my name's Jameson Young. I'm sitting here with Jameson Young. This is our YouTube channel, Self-Conflicted, and thank you for tuning in.